Imagine giving 25 years of your life to a company, skipping birthdays, losing sleep, even missing your own father's funeral, only to have a 29-year-old manager shake your hand and say, "We're letting you go." I thought my life was over that day, but I didn't know it was the beginning of theirs falling apart. My name is Daniel. For 25 years, I worked at Rothwell Industries, a multinational logistics company that treated loyalty like currency, or so I thought. I started in the warehouse, lifting boxes, driving forklifts, and working double shifts for overtime. Slowly, I climbed my way up to senior operations coordinator. I knew every corner of that place, every system, every client, every problem before it even happened. I trained dozens of people who later became managers. I never complained, never took sick leave, and always believed that loyalty was rewarded. But I was wrong. When our new CEO, Michael Trent, joined, everything changed. He was young, sharp, and arrogant. Within months, he began modernizing the company, which really meant firing older employees and replacing them with fresh hires at half the salary. At first, I didn't think it would affect me. I was the go-to guy. I was the one everyone turned to when systems crashed, shipments went missing, or clients threatened to leave. Then one Monday morning, I got called into a review meeting. Sitting across from me was Evelyn, the HR head, and Trent himself. Trent smiled like he was greeting an old friend. "Daniel," he said, "I want to thank you for your service. You've been an incredible asset to this company. But as part of our restructuring, we're eliminating your position." I froze. He slid an envelope across the table. Inside was my termination letter, effective immediately. I asked, "After 25 years, this is how you thank me?" Trent just smirked, stood up, and said, "Business is business, Daniel. We'll send someone to collect your badge." That smirk, I'll never forget it. I walked out of that building in silence. My coworkers avoided eye contact. Some whispered apologies. I wasn't just hurt, I was humiliated. That night, I sat in my garage, surrounded by old company files, thinking about every sacrifice I'd made. My wife, Lisa, put her hand on my shoulder and said, "You always said that you built that place from the ground up. Maybe it's time they learn what happens when you pull the ground out from under them." That sentence stuck with me. Before leaving, I had one advantage. I still had full access to Rothwell's internal logistics systems because no one had revoked my admin credentials yet. I didn't plan to destroy anything. I wasn't that kind of person. But I could redirect karma in the right direction. I discovered that Trent's cost-cutting plan was based on false data, numbers he'd manipulated to look like we were losing efficiency under old employees. The truth? His new hires had messed up major client orders, costing the company thousands. So I made a few subtle changes. I restored the original reports and backed them up. I forwarded copies to the company's board of directors, anonymously. I then sent a summary of Trent's falsified data to 3 major clients who had already been frustrated with service delays. Within a week, everything exploded. 3 of Rothwell's biggest contracts, worth millions, pulled out overnight. The board launched an internal investigation, and guess who they found at the center of it? Michael Trent. Emails, spreadsheets, and time logs all pointed back to him. But that wasn't all. Remember that HR manager, Evelyn? She'd signed the documents approving my termination, and those same documents showed her signature on falsified reports. Both of them were suspended pending investigation. A month later, I got a call from one of the board members, an older man who had always respected me. He said, "Daniel, we reviewed everything. You were wronged, and we need someone who understands operations to fix this mess. Would you consider coming back?" I agreed, but on one condition. I wouldn't return as a coordinator. 2 weeks later, I walked into that same building as head of operations. When I entered, I saw the same people who once looked away from me now standing in silence. Some smiled nervously, some clapped. And as for Trent, he was escorted out by security, the same way he had dismissed others before me. He wouldn't even look at me. In the months that followed, I rebuilt what Trent had destroyed. The company regained its reputation, and the employees who were unfairly let go were offered their positions back. I didn't do it out of revenge alone. I did it to prove that loyalty isn't a weakness. But I won't lie. The day I walked past Trent as he carried his box of belongings, I whispered, "Business is business, Michael." He looked up, and for once, that smirk was gone. So yeah, after 25 years of loyalty, they fired me. But I got the last laugh. I didn't burn bridges. I rebuilt the road they tried to destroy. And when karma came knocking, I made sure it found the right address. If you've ever been betrayed at work, just remember, revenge doesn't always need fire. Sometimes it only needs patience.